The most important thing an institution does is not to prepare a student for a career, but for a life as a citizen. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Jarel Pajarillo Corpus, your reporter for today. And as you can see on your screen, I'll be discussing about netizens in cyberspace, active citizenship. So let me start by giving you an understanding what is citizen, netizen, and cyberspace. First is citizen or citizenship. It is the relationship between an individual and a state to which the individual owes allegiance and in turn is entitled to its protection. It refers to someone who is living in a specific country with rights, freedom, and of course responsibility. So we can say that we are a citizen of the Philippines because we are a Filipino and we are the people of this country. So that is citizen. So next is netizen. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, a netizen is an active participant in online community of the internet. So we know what is a citizen. It's someone who is living in a physical world. So netizen is somewhat like citizen. But netizens are the people in the internet or a person who is actively involved in online community. And netizen came from the word internet and citizen, as in a citizen of the net or net citizen. So we can say we are a netizen kasi gumagamit tayo ng internet, may sari-sarili tayong accounts, nakikipag-ugnayan tayo online. And also, what we are doing right now, we are studying online. The word may also be used to describe an individual who spends a lot of time on the internet. So now we know what is a citizen and netizen. Let's move on to cyberspace. Cyberspace refers to the virtual computer world and more specifically an electronic medium that is used to facilitate online communication. So cyber is the opposite of our physical world. It's the virtual world. It is the environment in which communication over computer networks occurs. And in fact, almost everybody in one way or the other is connected to cyberspace. A student who wants to attend an online class is on the cyberspace. A businessman who wants to send or receive money is also on the cyberspace when he uses a computer network supported by the bank. Ganon din sa mga mahihilig umorder sa Shopee, Lazada or Amazon are also on the cyberspace. So this is where we do our online activities and it's the electronic medium where the computer with many worldwide computers have networks. And this is where communication happens in the cyber world. And we as a netizen is its people. Next, let's proceed to the cyber citizenship and active citizenship. So, as a citizen in cyberspace, we can say we are a cyber citizen and an active citizen of it. And as someone who is active in cyber world, we are expected to follow rules and be responsible. Now, we will talk about what are the things a netizen who is an active citizen of the internet needs to know to be a good netizen. First is cyber rights. There are no real rights you have as a cyber citizen other than the legal protections you already have as an actual citizen. So again, there's no real rights, but every citizen in the cyber world should have the right to respect privacy and their own opinion. So what I am saying is, though in the cyber world ay walang mga panukalang batas or any bill of constitutionally protected rights, kailangan pa rin nating respetuhin ang ilang mga particular na karapatan like life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. First is life, or the right for fair and reasonable treatment online. In cyber world, the right to life is primarily about being treated in a civil and respectful manner. This right also includes freedom from threats to life or personhood. Next is liberty, or the right to basic freedom. So what are those basic freedom? Like respect and expect privacy, safety, and equal treatment regardless of sex, religion, or sexual orientation, and should also honor others' property. And the last one is pursuit of happiness, or right to explore, personal interest without undue interference. So, these three rights are very important to know by every citizen in cyberspace. Because kapag alam natin mga karapatan na to, maybe walang mga complicated situations or problems that will happen. Next is cyber privilege. So we need to know that it is a privilege to us to have access to the internet. It is a privilege to have the technology that allows us access to the internet and cellular networks. So it's a good advantage to us to use such thing like the internet, because actually it helps us a lot like communication and makes our life more easier. So it's a privilege to us, but of course we still need to be responsible. Next is cyber responsibilities. Responsibility is really at the heart of cyber citizenship. To be responsible, syempre we need to be informed about the cyber world. Responsibility is very important when we're talking about cyberspace, and it is characterized as a civil behavior. So, there are certain ways as a civilized human beings should behave towards others in cyberspace. First, be responsible towards laws. So, the most important area of respect we should demonstrate as a cyber citizen is for the law. So, there are several legal issues related to online activity. First is intellectual property rights. Sometimes we just copy and paste or download something in the internet, but we forget that it is someone's work. And when we do that, nababiolate natin yung intellectual property rights. When we don't give credit to the rightful owner, we violate something. That's why as a responsible citizen, kailangan natin maging aware about this matter. Cyber stalking. Another area that has legal protections is cyber harassment and bullying or cyber stalking. So, cyber stalking is the unwanted and or repeated surveillance by an individual or group toward another person. And stalking behavior are interrelated to harassment and intimidation. Aside from cyber stalking, here is another cyber crimes. First, copyright infringement. Like yung pagdadownload ng music or films nang hindi nagbabayad para sa kanilang paggamit or without the permission of the owner. And also cybercrimes is plagiarism, or taking someone else's work or ideas and processing them off as one's own. Another is downloading songs you didn't purchase, profiting from others' creative efforts or products, bullying and harassment, child pornography, internet stalking, and identity theft. So these are all the cybercrimes, and as a responsible citizen, we need to be aware na dapat hindi natin ito ginagawa. Cyber identity. There are a range of ways we can be identified and recognized online. Nagsisimula ito with the online names na ginagamit natin sa iba't ibang accounts, as well as our online addresses like email, texting number, social media accounts, and many more. So, like in physical world, we have our own identity, and also in the cyber world. But sometimes people in the internet are not really that trustworthy about their cyber identity, because in cyber world, identity can be changed from names, gender, just one click and you become someone else. That's why as a responsible citizen, our cyber identity needs to be legit. Let's move on to cyber footprinting. Every time we go online or transmit anything over a cellular network, we leave a trace of that activity. And this is known as cyber footprint. Ito yung mga bagay na naiiwan natin kapag may specific tayo na ginawa. So like in physical world, we have our footprints, so is in cyber world. There are two kinds of cyber footprint. It's the intentional and the unintentional. So, intentional is where we posted pictures on the things na tayo yung mismong nag-click, nag-post, or nag-share. And these are some examples of intentional cyber footprint, like photos, videos in YouTube, Skype, Vine, and so on. Texting, social media accounts like Facebook, Twitter, and so on. Comments posted on other sites, emails, tag photos on other user accounts, apps like Pinterest, Snapchat, and Instagram, and purchases and other transactions. So those are intentional footprints. Then there are unintentional footprints we leave in cyberspace. It includes such things as cookies, search engine metrics, and social media tracking. It's indeed true that technology helps us a lot, but gaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina, we need to be responsible and respectful in the cyber world. So this ends my presentation. Thank you for watching and listening.